streets as well as the freeway systems. He might be turning Mike behind us. Slow down. Nope, he goes right by those cars, right through a green light he had there. There he goes, wrong side of the road. Look at him cross over there. No reason to do that. I mean, we can't see ahead of him, but why is he doing that? And look at this California Highway Patrol trying to get ahead to warn drivers that this guy's coming right at him, and he's going to go, oh, he's almost made a left turn there, decides to stay on the wrong side of the road. He's got an island that's blocking him in. The California Highway Patrol now giving him a little room to get back over. Now it's a open lane there, no center divider, but nope, he's back in that wrong side of the road. Oh, right through that red light. Dangerous situation here. Fortunately, not a whole lot of traffic coming northbound. People diving out of the way. Look at them taking the curb going, this guy's crazy. He's coming right at us. Oh, man, that car right in the center of the intersection there. Again, he's got that island that's blocking him in. That California Highway Patrol keeping pace with him right through, fortunately, a green light. And here he comes cutting off the officer the last second. Now he's back on the right side of Paramount. Unbelievable. Now let's see if you try to pit maneuver that officer getting into position. Let's see, we might see it here. He's got a lot of traffic. No, he makes a left turn eastbound. This is Alondra, and let's see, here comes the pit. Keep it flat, Mike. Here's the pit right there. It's spinning him out of control. And let's see if that should do it for that vehicle. Hold right here. No, there's a tree. They got him pinned in there. Guns drawn on the suspect, driver and a passenger. Let's see what happens here as the officers surround the vehicle. Bringing it to an end just east of Paramount on Alondra, that pit maneuver. An excellent job by the California Highway Patrol to bring this pursuit to an end. The suspect, a dangerous move southbound on Paramount Boulevard, challenging those officers. And now the car disabled, the suspects in the car not complying, guns drawn on them. We see some movement. We'll look into that sunroof there and see if we see activity. Looks like the driver has his hands moving around. The passenger, I'm going to double in there. Looks like the passenger is keeping his hands where they can be seen, but the driver, we're hearing California Highway Patrol saying that he looks agitated, and he certainly is moving around quite a bit in there. A very dangerous situation for that driver to be doing that, especially with guns drawn on him. Now they're giving him orders to comply, put his hands up where they can see him, get those keys out of the vehicle, and get out of the vehicle. But so far, they're not complying. So far, they're just staying tight. No, don't move. Now another vehicle pulling up, another officers getting into position now, more officers into position now. That might be a Garden Grove unit that just pulled up. Again, it was the Garden Grove PD that initiated this pursuit. The suspect putting his hands out the window, cracking the window a little bit. Let's see his hands right there. He's kind of wiggling them around, but he was, they're saying that he's agitated, and you can see how he's acting there. The suspect playing it cool, the passenger, I should say, playing it cool. This driver, very agitated. Now he's got his hands on his head, or at least the last second there, he put his hands on his head. Looks like he's continuing to do so. The driver reaching, or the passenger reaching for the door. It looks like a female. She's coming out with her hands up. She's complying. Suspect with his hands out the moonroof. Female lifting her shirt to show the officers that she has no weapons in her waistband. They're going to make her do a 360. And the suspect driver Fortunately, keeping his hands out that sunroof, the female walking backwards to the other officers. They're going to take her into custody right there. One down, one to go. The driver, with the door open there, that passenger side door open, he can slip out there, out that side and comply. But so far, he's just sitting there holding the open sunroof. Said to be agitated for sure. He was moving around quite a bit. Pursued out of the Garden Grove area, a reckless driver on the freeway, driving the wrong way on the freeway, on the 22 freeway, made his way to Beach Boulevard, exited Beach Boulevard, went southbound on Beach, all the way down to the 405 freeway where he jumped on northbound, went up to Seal Beach Boulevard, exited, and then entered the freeway the wrong way. Well, that would be the 405 freeway, and then made a U-turn on the freeway going the right direction and jumped off at 7th Street, making his way into the Long Beach area for a little bit, and then turning around, getting onto the 605 freeway northbound, making his way up to the 91, and went westbound on the 91, exited Bellflower for a little bit, came eastbound on Alondra, got on the 605 freeway north to the 105 freeway west, and that's when he exited Paramount here and turned south. California Highway Patrol chasing him, reckless driver all the way down Paramount, in and out of the wrong side of the road there at high rates of speeds until he made a turn left on Alondra once again. That's when the California Highway Patrol said, enough's enough, we're doing the pit on you, and they certainly did a great job here, spinning him out of control, disabling the vehicle, and now the suspect coming out with his hands up, finally complying with officers, still giving them a little bit of lip there, but now he's walking away. That's not what they want him to do. They want him to stop. Go left a little, Joe. Mike, if you can. Left a little bit here to get that pull out of the way. Now look at him. He's just arguing with officers. That's not a good thing. They could use less than lethal to take him down if he does not comply. There he goes, finally going into the stance. Hands on his head. They're going to have him lay down on the ground, and then they'll make an approach on him. Down on the ground, finally complying. But look at him. He's still going slow, man. Now his hands behind his back. Officer's going to check the vehicle for any other suspects that might be in there. And now they'll put a team together. Here comes the team to make that arrest. And look at this guy. He's just moving around still. That's not a good thing to do. And now he's going to give them a little wiggle and a little fight with the officers. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 officers down on the ground to hold this guy down. No reason for him to do that at this point. I mean, he's just making things worse for himself. And certainly, law enforcement officer is doing a great job to get him into custody. Fortunately, this dangerous pursuit that was putting a lot of drivers at risk on freeways and on surface streets has come to an end here by the California Highway Patrol as they take the driver now into custody. A female passenger that was in the front seat came out. She complied with officers' demands, but the driver, being a little stubborn there, all the way to the bitter end, is now in custody just east of Paramount on Alondra. We'll see how he acts when they try to get him up off the ground. In certain situations, they'll hogtie the suspect if he continues to be combative with them. This guy so far looks like he's going to comply at this point. They're going to walk him to the car, put him in the back, and take him to the jail. And now the suspect, the driver, in custody, going to be taken away by Garden Grove officers. They're the ones that initiated this pursuit. We're going to keep an eye on that driver because he is still a little agitated. It took 5 officers to actually get him handcuffed. Here's a look at the female that they have not put in the car yet. Definitely a team effort out here by law enforcement to get these 2 in custody. Certainly we know the at least one of the ones was reckless driving on this vehicle. We don't know if there was anything further, if the vehicle may have been stolen. It was a green Honda that was being pursued there. You can see how the CHP took them out in a pit maneuver, spinning that car out and disabling it. But wow, what a chase coming down Paramount Boulevard. That driver just jumping onto the wrong side, the northbound lanes, southbound in the northbound lanes of Paramount. Cars diving out of the way, pulling to the curb to get out of their way. That driver